British Sea Power, Valhalla Dancehall.
Hi. Anthony Fantano here. Internet's busiest music nerd. Thank you for watching. It's time for an album review of this, believe it or not. Yeah. A few things to mention first, a new track review of a song from the new Rural Alberta Advantage album, and a new track from Kanye West and Jay-Z, all linked down there in the D-Box. And also, Cal Chuchesta, as promised, has impersonated the Rock It Out blog. Just click on that or look for a link down there to go watch it. What more incentive do you need? It's Cal Chuchesta, Rock It Out blog, together at last. Let's get down to business. British Sea Power is a British band, and this is their 5th studio LP, Valhalla Dancehall. I got a lot of requests for it on yesterday's video. British Sea Power is one of those bands that always tries to do something different with each album, and Valhalla Dancehall is no different. They don't go back and toy with the post-punk sounds on their first LP, or the indie pop sounds on their second LP. If anything, this album is kind of a combination of their third and fourth. Do You Like Rock Music, a title that led to a lot of ball breaking all over the internet, for obvious reasons, went in a direction that's pretty predictable from just the title of this album, but which is supposed to be the soundtrack of a semi-fictional documentary of the same title, had the band writing really experimental soundtrack rock without even batting an eye. I mean, it's a decent album, it's just the issue with its release was that it was kind of unexpected by fans and didn't really turn all of the non-believers into British Sea Power fans. Valhalla Dancehall, I would say, is really straightforward, really instant, like rock music, but has that same gargantuan ambition of Man of Iran. It's anthemic from beginning to end, and all you have to do is just sample the first track of this LP to know where the band is going this time around, who's in control. It's like BSP emulating a power ballad from a Monsters of Rock compilation. Godzilla-sized hook, gargantuan guitar solos, tons of reverb on the vocals and the drums, so it kind of sounds like you're listening to the band play a giant arena. All concept of modesty and just being down to earth have been thrown out the window on this album. But the whole LP is not about rocking with your out. For example, there's a really dynamic power ballad on GEORGIE that transforms into a guitar solo that I swear will have you just whipping your lighter out in front of your stereo. And even though I'm not the biggest British Sea Power fan, I wouldn't even call myself an expert of their past works, I'm still kind of surprised to hear these guys sounding like this. Any modern band, really. But it's not like these guys are totally oblivious to the trajectory of their albums or the carefree or macho attitude that usually comes with this kind of music. And I think they make fun of that just a little bit on tracks like Luna or Living Is So Easy with the lyrics. The band also creates some quiet but very captivating moments on here that kind of call back a little bit to Man of Iran, that bring in all the extra instrumentation, xylophone strings, piano, horns, background vocals. On moments like this, BSP works to create an atmosphere as opposed to a catchy song. And for me, the only real speed bump when it comes to this kind of sound for these guys on this album is the 11-minute Once More Now, which could have been pared down just a little bit. And as long as we're riding on the complain train, let me say that I feel like these guys could have been, just maybe, a little more distinct in their embrace of this sound. For sure. Because sometimes I feel like I'm listening not to British Sea Power, but a completely different band on this album. But depending on who you talk to, that could be a good or bad thing. But overall, this thing is just an album of catchy guitar rock. Observe the Skies, STUNDE NULL, We Are Sound, with some references to new wave music like Living Is So Easy, Heavy Water, just great tunes. If I was talking to you and I said to you, hey, what do you want to listen to? And you said, Anthony, I want to listen to a rock album. Then I would say, oh, you want to hear a rock album? Well, here you go. This is it. This is the answer. This is a rock album. Listen to it. Even Cal Chuchesta likes it. Cal, what do you think of British Sea Power?
Well, as you know, Britain is no longer the naval power that it once was. However, to play devil's advocate, I do question whether or not the ability to win a sea battle really holds relevance in today's world of nuclear arms and terrorism.
This is why I hate Cal Chuchesta. So I'm feeling a light 8 on this thing. I loved it, and it's going to be my first addition to the loved list for 2011, linked down there in the D-box. Woo woo. That's it for today's review. What do you think I should review next? And also, what did you think of this thing? Did you love it? Did you hate it? And why? And what do you think about British sea power in general? Anthony Fantana, Valhalla Dancehall. Forever.